Imagine clocking in for your night shift at a quiet gas station. The fluorescent lights hum overhead. The coffee machine gurgles in the corner. You're alone, but you're used to it. Now imagine this. You're the fourth person to take this shift in 3 weeks. The three before you, they never clocked out. They simply vanished into thin air, leaving behind their belongings, untouched money in the register, and gas pumps still running. This isn't fiction. This is the true story of Harper's Gas and Go in Millbrook, Idaho, a case that haunts investigators to this day. On the night of September 3, 2019, 28-year-old Marcus Hayes began his shift at Harper's Gas and Go at 11 p.m. Marcus was a reliable employee, a former Marine who'd returned to his hometown after his service ended. He'd worked the night shift for 2 years without incident. His routine was predictable. Unlock the store, count the register, brew fresh coffee, and settle in for the quiet hours until 7 a.m. But Marcus never made it to 7 a.m. When the morning shift manager, Carol Dennison, arrived at 6:55, she found something deeply unsettling. The front door was unlocked. The lights were on. Pump number 3 was still running, dispensing gas onto the concrete in a spreading pool. The register was open, showing exactly $843, nothing missing. Marcus's jacket hung on the hook behind the counter. His half-eaten turkey sandwich sat on the break room table, next to a still warm cup of coffee. Marcus Hayes was gone. Carol immediately called the police. Within hours, Millbrook's small police department had cordoned off the station. They interviewed Carol, reviewed the employee logs, and checked Marcus's background. Nothing seemed amiss. He had no enemies, no debts, no reason to disappear. His truck was still in the parking lot, keys in the ignition. His phone was found on the counter, battery at 67%. The initial theory was simple. Marcus had stepped outside for a smoke break, even though he didn't smoke, and something had happened. An accident, a medical emergency. Perhaps he'd wandered into the woods behind the station, disoriented. Search parties combed the surrounding area for 3 days. They found nothing. Exactly 1 week later, on September 10th, the night shift position was filled by 23-year-old Jennifer Cole. Jennifer was a college student working part-time to pay for her tuition. Friends described her as cautious, especially after hearing about Marcus's disappearance. She'd told her roommate that the job made her nervous, but she needed the money. Jennifer clocked in at 11 p.m. At 11:47 p.m., she sent a text to her roommate. "Dead quiet here. Kinda creepy, but I'm okay." That was the last anyone heard from her. The morning manager found an eerily similar scene. The door was unlocked, lights blazing. This time, pump number 5 was running, gas flooding the pavement. The register held $912, completely untouched. Jennifer's purse was behind the counter, her car keys inside. Her vehicle sat in the employee parking area. Her phone was on the counter, open to a half-written text that simply read, "Why is there?" The message ended there. This time, the police response was immediate and intense. Detective Sarah Reeves, brought in from the state police, took over the investigation. The coincidence was too stark to ignore. 2 people, same shift, same location, vanishing exactly 1 week apart, both leaving behind identical scenes of interrupted routine. Detective Reeves ordered the security footage to be analyzed frame by frame. What they found was disturbing, but not in the way anyone expected. The cameras showed Jennifer working normally, restocking shelves, serving the occasional late-night customer, cleaning the coffee station. Then, at approximately 2:17 a.m., something strange happened. The timestamp continued running, but Jennifer simply froze. For exactly 4 seconds, she stood completely motionless in the center of the store, her hand suspended halfway to a shelf. Then the footage flickered, just once, and she was gone. The store was empty. No one had entered. No one had left. She had simply ceased to exist within the frame. Technical experts examined the footage for tampering. They found none. The footage was continuous, unedited, stored on a closed system with no external access. By now, Harper's Gas and Go had become infamous. National news outlets picked up the story. Internet sleuths proposed theories ranging from serial killers to interdimensional portals. The owner, Harold Harper, considered closing the station entirely, but Detective Reeves convinced him to keep it open, with one condition. On September 17th, 46-year-old David Ortega volunteered to work the night shift. David was a former police officer from Nevada, now working as a private security consultant. He wore a body camera, carried 2 phones, and had a police radio. Detective Reeves stationed patrol cars at both ends of the road. The entire station was under surveillance, with additional cameras installed to cover every blind spot. David clocked in at 11 p.m. For the first 3 hours, everything proceeded normally. He checked in with Detective Reeves every 30 minutes. At 2:03 a.m., David radioed in. All clear, still quiet. At 2:11 a.m., he radioed again. Detective, I'm seeing something. The air in here looks wrong, like there's static. Detective Reeves and her team rushed into the station within 90 seconds. They found the same scene that had become sickeningly familiar. Door unlocked, lights on, pump number 7 running, creating a dangerous fuel spill. Register untouched, displaying $1,026. David's body camera was on the counter, still recording, but showing only static from 2:11 a.m. onward. This time, however, there was something else. The additional cameras Detective Reeves had installed captured something the original security system had missed. At exactly 2:11 a.m., every camera in the station recorded the same anomaly simultaneously. A shadow. Not cast by any person or object, but a shadow that seemed to exist independently, moving across the floor, the walls, the ceiling. It wasn't black. Witnesses who reviewed the footage said it was more like the absence of light, a void that consumed everything it touched. The shadow moved toward David, who was visible on camera, frozen just as Jennifer had been. His mouth was open, mid-word. His hand was reaching for his radio. The shadow enveloped him, and in the single frame that followed, less than 1/30th of a second, David Ortega was gone. Forensic analysis of the footage revealed something that made even seasoned investigators uncomfortable. In the frame where David disappeared, his shadow remained. For exactly 7 frames, less than 1/4 of a second, David's shadow stood alone in the store, cast by a body that no longer existed. Then it too vanished. Detective Reeves worked the case for 8 months, developing and discarding dozens of theories. The most rational explanation was a coordinated abduction, perhaps a trafficking ring or cult targeting the gas station. But the logistics made no sense. How could perpetrators bypass multiple security systems, leave no forensic evidence, and execute 3 perfect kidnappings while being actively monitored? The FBI joined the investigation, bringing resources and expertise. They examined everything: electromagnetic anomalies, carbon monoxide levels, infrasound that might cause hallucinations, underground tunnels, secret rooms. They found nothing unusual. The building was exactly what it appeared to be: a simple gas station built in 1987 with no hidden spaces and no structural abnormalities. Psychological theories emerged. Perhaps the 3 had staged their own disappearances. But David Ortega had no reason to vanish. He'd been hired specifically to investigate, and the synchronized timing, the identical scenes, the security footage anomalies, these couldn't be explained by voluntary disappearance. Some investigators, speaking off the record, admitted to considering explanations that fell outside conventional police work: environmental hazards that caused instantaneous disorientation and wandering, rare atmospheric phenomena, even stranger possibilities that none would voice officially. The gas station was closed permanently in June 2020. Harold Harper sold the property to a development company who tore down the building in August of the same year. Detective Reeves retired in 2021, the case still officially open, still unsolved. But the story doesn't end with the demolition. In March 2023, nearly 4 years after Marcus Hayes vanished, a construction worker named Robert Finn was building a new shopping plaza on the site of the former gas station. While excavating for the foundation, his equipment struck something metallic 4 feet below where the old store counter had stood. It was a safe. An old commercial safe, the kind used by businesses in the 1980s and 90s. It wasn't on any blueprints. Harold Harper, when contacted, had no knowledge of it. According to property records, it predated his ownership. The land had been purchased from a previous owner in 1985. When authorities opened the safe, they found it contained 3 items: a ledger, a set of keys, and a handwritten letter. The ledger dated back to 1992. It listed names and dates, 37 names in total, spread across 15 years. The entry stopped in 2007 with a final note. It sleeps now. Do not wake it after dark. The keys were labeled with addresses, storage units across 3 states. Police opened 12 of them before the investigation was quietly classified. What they found has never been officially disclosed, though several officers involved in opening those units took early retirement. The letter was addressed to whoever finds this, and written by someone named Thomas Harding, the gas station's owner, from 1978 to 1985. The letter was brief. If you're reading this, it's woken again. I thought I'd stopped it. I thought I'd found a way. But it only sleeps, never dies. It takes them at 2:11 a.m. because that's when I first saw it. The night The sentence ended mid-thought. The rest of the page was blank, except for one final line at the bottom, written in what appeared to be a different pen, possibly added later. I'll be the next one. It's only fair. Records show Thomas Harding died in 1986, allegedly from a heart attack while driving on Highway 27, approximately 3 miles from the gas station. His death certificate noted the time, 2:11 a.m. Today, the lot where Harper's Gas and Go once stood remains undeveloped. The construction company that purchased the property went bankrupt in 2024. The site sits empty, marked only by a concrete foundation and the faded outline of where gas pumps once stood. Marcus Hayes, Jennifer Cole, and David Ortega have never been found. They remain on the missing persons database, their cases open but inactive. Detective Sarah Reeves, when asked in a rare interview in 2024, said simply, "Some cases aren't meant to be solved. Some doors, once opened, should never be investigated." The FBI's official conclusion states that the disappearances were likely the work of an organized criminal enterprise using sophisticated methods to stage abductions. But those who worked the case know the truth is far stranger than any official report. Because sometimes, in the dead of night, local residents driving past that empty lot report seeing something that shouldn't be there, lights flickering where no building stands, the shadow of gas pumps against the ground, and, just for a moment, always at exactly 2:11 a.m., the silhouette of someone standing behind a counter that no longer exists, serving customers who vanished decades ago. The night shift at Harper's Gas and Go is always hiring, but nobody ever completes their training. Some jobs, it seems, you don't leave, they leave with you.